Oh. Hey. Hello, hello. Sorry, I am doing a little bit of background setting before I get set up here. I've got some silliness going on with my YouTube here. Let's see. YouTube is something else. It's a really cool platform. Um, but if you mess with your settings, you're in trouble. Got a copyright strike by accident. I didn't even know. There we go. Okay, here we go. Now we're good. Up, 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 up. You really can't play music on YouTube. Twitch is kind of like fine, they'll just disable your VODs, but YouTube really doesn't like when you play any music. Um, so I'm in here. Let's do this. Sign in. Okay. I don't remember any of these. This sucks. My passwords are so questionable. um, Da-da-dum, da-ba-ba-bum, ba-ba-ba-bum, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-bum, ba-ba-ba-bum, ba-ba-ba-bum, na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na, na-na-na, ba-da-dum. I'm thinking about adding a new type of player. I really should make more YouTube content instead of making my game. It's kind of funny because like I started making YouTube content because I didn't want to make my game, and now I'm like back in there and in the reverse. So it's just like super funny. No, you're kidding me. I know it. I know it. Perfect. Yes. Okay, we're live here. Let's go dance. I've got a. I don't know if you can even play video game music on YouTube when I stream like this because that's Twitch is just so different. Yo, Android, the man, the chosen one, the one and only. We are here. We're back again. Thanks for stopping by. We are still working on this same game, and the aim is to have it provided to all of you to play while you watch me work on other stuff. And one of the things I need to do is, finish the game for one. Just, there's nothing to really do in the game, so we're making like bowling. We've got this fishing bobber. We're doing a lot of stuff. But the problem is that I need to actually not make any games. I need to go make YouTube content and tutorials because that's what most people are here for. But I don't feel like doing that. But I think what we'll try to do is just like get a very, very basic fishing thing. Andrew, Android. Yeah, I mean, Android's fine too. I mean, I don't care what you call me. You can call me whatever you want to call me. This thing is so fun. I don't know. I'm having a ton of fun building this game out. So I guess fun is kind of the operative thing. And, however I'm doing that is what I'm going to keep doing. When I'm having fun, I have fun making tutorials. I have fun. So there's a couple tutorials I want to make though too. So I'm going to get back into that. I've been putting off one of these videos because it's a short. And ironically, the shorts are harder for me to make because they have to be more engaging. They have to be like snappy and cool and well edited, and I don't feel like doing that. So maybe I actually just make something more long format. Okay. Did I just keep that? Okay. Um, let's try to finish the fishing game, I think, and then we'll go and make a video. So finish the fishing. So what we want is a Godot shaders, and we want like I know exactly what we want, but I don't know where it is. Like a glow, like glow item highlight. Item, like a power up. We want like a power up circle. Let's say Zelda. I don't know if this is gonna be like. Yes, like this. This is kind of what we want. Highlight rays. This is closer, but not quite. Highlight. We could just use a Taurus. Oh my gosh, I don't have my screen shared. There we go. So I'm looking for something like this. But better. A ring. There it is. Mission ring. That's what we want. So this is going to show where our fish in the water are going to be. Let's say shader. Let's go to fish. Fishing target is what we're going to call this. Fishing target. And we don't need a multiplayer synchronizer, but we do need mesh. Because how do you do this? Probably use it as sphere or cylinder mesh. Okay, boys. Cylinder material, new shader material, shader, new shader, mission ring. And we're going to say that it's in shaders. Click create. Shader editor, paste. Now we don't want to do that. We just overwrote our. This is the one we don't overwrite. Will be the name of this fishing game. Right now, it's called Friend Gem. So when I open up, I'll show you what it looks like when we go fishing, because we have this really cool ability where if I'm the admin player, which is over here, I can open up this menu, open up the admin menu, and I can load any of these levels that we have. And this one is the Map Lake Flat, which has all of our fishing. And so you can swim around. You can go and get your fishing pole. And we can go fishing. And the problem is that there's nothing to actually fish yet. So we're going to make it so that you can reel this baby in. So we have to figure out how to do that. There you go. But we have a lot of cool little systems working here, and it looks nice. And I spent a lot of time, not a lot of time on the environment, but I'm enjoying what the environment looks like. And what's really funny though is you can have a fish. If I actually get a fish that grabs this your bobber, it can actually like drag your fishing rod with it. So you could lose your rod, and I could like throw the bobber. Oh, it's kind of springy. That's kind of interesting. But yeah, I'm really liking how this is looking for so far. And so we're gonna make a nice little opening screen and stuff like that. Got a little bit of cached piers. That's fine. But the goal is to basically get the bobber in the ring. So we're gonna make a ring here, and I can see that it's on there. It's somewhere there. Shader parameters, base color. Doing the AI for fish can be complicated. I mean, modulating the pull force, random movement, fear, sound detection. That's yeah. I might just tell them to just run in a random direction until they hit something, and then I don't know. There's the fishing part of the mini game. Like I've been putting it off. It's really kind of the most important part. So I'm not really sure what to do. So I can kind of see it in the preview, right? Oh, there it goes. Oh wow, it's moving really fast. Okay, so 2 bottom radius 0.5. That's cool. Make it a little shorter. And then the speed. What the fucking speed is crazy. Can I reload the save scene? It's going so fast. Oh, this is the pulse speed, not the ring speed. There you go, stripe speed. Okay. So basically now, this will be in the map, and you will hit the center, and a fish will, hey, bloodbath with a pole dancing bunny. That is we do have a dance command. We'll dance. It's pretty silly. I got distracted. What the fuck is this? I've been surprisingly thinking today. You have been thinking today. That's tough. I would not recommend thinking. I think thinking causes a lot of problems. I'm just being silly. All right, so map Lake Flat. What needs to do is add these in a random spot every once in a while. Yeah, that's a pretty good. Just needs to be bigger. So we will add a script to it, and we'll pass. I want to make a costume based on a fan design for a character from the book I Have No Mouth and Must Scream. You know, that's funny. I've heard of that. Is that it's like a horror thing or something, right? I somebody told me to look at this, and this is a oh yeah, this is a game. Oh yeah, is this what we're looking at? This is pretty interesting. This is a point and click sort of game. Very cool. Yeah, this is what I'm gonna play. I think I had this on my wish list even at one point. Oh, and it's a book originally. Okay, Harlan Ellison, I've heard of him. I'm pretty sure that they either remastered this or released it or something cuz um but maybe you're thinking about the book itself. Maybe this is on Good Old Games or something, but it's kind of neat, kind of interesting. So you're thinking about like someone who designed something from the book. Radius. Float, probably. And we need to get the ring mesh. And then we need to get the ring mesh dot material, right? And then we need to get the shader. Good job. Like this. Yeah, this fan design, yeah. For AM, I don't know who AM is. I'd have to read the book or something. So is this, yeah, that's the shader material, right? Matte dot get shader parameter, set shader parameter, stripe, ring radius, set shader parameter, ring underscore radius. Is that the right one? Copy property path. This one. Ring radius. Pretty good. Also, would want the eyes to be able to move. Yeah, I mean, that would be fun. Um, it's currently 1.5, so let's go 3. Only I know. What does that mean? Do we say duplicated? Oh, it's common. Duh. Just do a comma. Use the thing. But duplicate is a good tip there. Possibly 3 hidden or 2 hidden buttons in the hands that would wire all the way up to the head. Yeah, that's a good idea. What did I come in here to test? The ring. So we go here and we go to map lake flat and we have this fishing target. Now we should be able to turn this. Did we turn it up to 3? Just do radius. 1.5 by default, right? Then we do reload save scene. It's still the same size, huh? Maybe that's because this doesn't run in the, oh. Radius. Ring mesh. Oh, we didn't set it. So we say matte dot set material dot surface material dot how do we set this thing? Ring mesh. Maybe more buttons that turn lights on or plays the monologue. Yeah, you don't want to say anything, maybe. Surface material set. Set surface material set 0 new mat. There we go. Okay, let's try that. Now when I reload the scene, okay, it's still the same size, but I told it to be bigger. So let's put tool on it. Oh, it's gone. It's huge though. It's somewhere in there. It's huge. It's like in the 5 was quite large, huh? No, it's not there. Okay, let's see. It's gone. Ring radius. It just goes. What about 2? It's just gone. What the fuck? Ring radius, ring width. That's the wrong thing. Can we just go like a little bit? Oh, interesting. So there's some bug here with this thing. This thing is really, really buggy. I don't know that I like it. Okay. So we just can't increase the radius for some reason. Because it goes up or something? I've also taken inspiration 3D model someone made. Yeah. Sounds creepy. Are you going to go to an event with it? That's what those things are for, right? I've never done anything like that. I'm not that creative. All of my creation is on the computer. How do we make this thing? Just disappears. 2. And it's gone. It's just gone. It's like negative now, but why? It's the height? Is it the height? This thing sucks. This thing absolutely actually sucks. It's not even visible by default. This thing sucks. Okay. We're gonna go do some other stuff. I'll be right back. Let me put up a little BRB message. Mm-hmm. Oh my god. Like a bunny butt bouncing. Jesus Christ. Had an idea. Let's do it this way. Done. Yo, your hair is different. Yeah. It's summertime. I gotta shorten my hair. It's been annoying in my face. I think that was the part of the problem is that this is such a confusing mechanism. Finally came up with an idea for a starter game for me to work on. Almost got the basics implemented. Ah, yes, I love a new project. Right now we are adding these we're adding these rings into the lake so that when you are fishing you can have a target to aim for. So that's what this is. It's the fishing target. Um it's kind of annoying though. I'll tell you that. Because there's a lot of variables here. And so see if we can figure out a default here that makes sense. And now, what about the height? Oh, it does kind of change it. It's so everything changes it. That's the problem. My niece sucks at spelling, so I made a basic interface that works like a 2D game in the menu driven, basically Mad Libs set up to reinforce spelling. Interesting. You're using LLM. Okay. That sounds fun. It's always fun to make a game for a specific person. It's good to have an audience, a target in mind, like even if it's only a few people. Like I mostly make games for my friends and make my games for my viewers, so it's like they don't have to be anything that special. Okay, I'll be right back. All right, we got coffee. Tried mango. I was just thinking maybe sub teenager and just trying. There's less of emphasis on handwriting. The writing and spelling has fallen behind. Yeah, COVID even. Oof, definitely interrupted a lot of things. And also, like I learned, like some younger people can't type because they use their phones so much they don't know how to actually touch type on a keyboard or tablets or something. It's just not the same. What does ring width mean? Like, it's like that. That's crazy though. Let's see what that looks like. And then we'll get rid of this. Can't really see it, huh? Maybe you can. Why does it like change colors? What are you working on though? It's been a little while. Yeah, I'm working on a fishing game. Her hands are just getting big enough to use a full-size keyboard. Yeah, but they don't know how to use a keyboard. So I also have I have a fishing rod, and you can throw the fishing rod into the lake. You can also go bowling. That's separate. Oh my god, I got bugs. But then I have this new system where I can jump over to a new map. Oh, this is the bowling map. So here's a bowling alley. I was just in the process of placing the pins, but I haven't finished. And then I meant to go to the map lake and see what this looks like in here. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to make a game that's kind of fun and cozy for my viewers. That looks like a pretty decent target right there. Let's see if we can hit it. I'm probably pretty good at this already. Okay, that wasn't right. And we need to do the reeling. We currently cannot reel. Nice so far. Shaking, yes. Yeah, we've also got some fish, of course. So we need to do that. And they need to swim around. This is our fish. And we're using the new spring bone component to make an easy, floppy fish. But yeah, that looks decent. I think the ring is way too small because like I had a hard time hitting it. So I'm wondering if we can just tell it to increase its radius. Like so if I take the fishing target mesh and I tell it to be transform, unlinked this, we go boop, boop. Like, what does that look like? It's double wide. It's fallen below the water. Is it below the water? I can't tell. Let's see. No, it's above the water now. There's a lot of work to go into any game. Like, I'm learning how much work a fishing game is. But I like having that target there. That definitely feels like a nice touch. Yeah, when we see the inverse here swimming in the fish, you see the rings in the sky. Oh, yeah, that's funny. I didn't think of having players be fish. What's funny though is that you can't pull the player into the water, maybe unless they were a ball like this. But if they're standing, there's no forces that apply to them. But what you can do is you can grab the bobber and pull the rod into the water. Even as a player, you can do this. So now the rod is like stuck in the water. And you can even fish while you're in the water. So all my systems are all flexible and kind of work in concert. Mm-hmm. But there's no actual fishing going on yet. Maybe we'll just get this thing looking and working good for one setting for now. So here's the deal. We'll double it. Bottom radius is 8, top radius is 11. Double it, then double it again is always a good policy, you know? And the ring radius is going to be top and bottom radius. Let's say, what, 6? That's half of it. Then we just need to find where it is. So we see it there. Okay, that's looking good. Now we just need to change how the this is the problem. Okay, we're starting to get somewhere. Okay. Haha! That's definitely what we want. Oh, it's looking bad though. I don't understand is this ring radius just doesn't seem to. Because of the stripe count? Do we need to do that? It's the preview is really bad too. We goofed it up. Working on the visual now and the ring in the water. Yeah, so basically you'll do the target. Once you hit it in the target, that's where the fish is going to swim towards. So basically they'll just be like little softly rotating targets on the water. And if you don't get it in the target, you're not going to get a fish. So the first part is targeting. And then the whole part of reeling the fish I haven't figured out yet either. So the problem is that the shader kind of sucks. I'm just going to be real. It's just bad. Oh, this is ring width. Okay. Okay. So this is the wrong thing to ever adjust, really. Pulse speed. We don't care about pulsing, but we care about this. There we go. All right. So now what's nice is we now need to just figure out how to adjust it. So we're still working on it. The spinning, you can have some additional water ripple. Yeah, that's true. I'm not gonna. Yeah, when I work on my first look, guessing I want a visual cue. Yeah. I mean, we've got a lot of mechanical stuff to do, and I'm kind of like in the weeds already on this. But all I want was that. Where was that ability to make it? Oh, there it goes. It's pulsing. It's cool. I'm trying to figure out how to make it better. So you can see that's kind of what we want right there. The ring width is not what you think it is. The radius is good. And then ring stripe speed. It's just not big enough. Oh well. I think it's a bad shader. Let's work on something else. What I'm going to do is just scale it up like this. It's huge. It's bright. I just want I think the ring, we need to change the ring. This is called the fishing target. We need to change the ring height, essentially, like, or width to be there. Yeah, so we do that. And then this comes up. Ah, okay, I'm figuring it out. 2.5. And then we can shrink the height of this, and that would, oh, that flattens it out. Okay, there we go. Talking about, that's what I'm talking about. So now we go 0.5. All right, we're figuring it out. Let's see what that looks like in our scene. Yep, that's exactly what we want. Let's go look at it. I think it works for now enough to get the hitbox. Yeah, I'm not worried about the hitbox. The hitbox is easy. I think the hard part is actually going to be how this thing reels in, because there's a bunch of different parameters in terms of the physics. I don't want to go bowling. I want to go fishing. It's pretty cool that we have this all working in multiplayer, though. Oh, look at that. Oh, it looks great. That's where the fish are. I can tell. So let's see if I can get it in the ring. Yeah, I missed. But not that far off. And then if I walk over here, I could pull it this way, pull it in. So we can apply a force on the bobber towards us. Wait, is there bowling too? Yeah, there's bowling. We love to make new games. The problem is I started working on bowling before I finished fishing. So I just, but the bowling pin works. What I'm going to do is in the fishing rod script, let's see what it looks like with a cable length of 5. And divided it by 10. So now when we pick up the fishing rod, the bobber is like right. Ooh, it's so strong. The springiness is way too strong. It's like it's pulling on my rod so damn hard. How much weight is this bobber? 0.2. Shouldn't be that heavy. This is 10. I don't think it comes into account so we have to get the lake bowling, we have to get the bowling balls out and fish them out. Wow, the fish are attacking the fishing line. Yeah, you could definitely do that. I have a buoyancy, so I'll show you what it looks like when I go for the prop spawner. And we can just turn all this stuff on, including our mine cart. So props bowling pin call deferred. We go like this one. We just do this. All right, this is getting a little chaotic in here, but we've got bowling, we've got a cart, and we can pull the cart with the rope. It's the same thing that the fishing rod is based on, but this is all our stuff, and this is our fish. Throw the fish into the cart, and we can put a bowling pin in there, but we can't because it's too big. And then we got rocks. And then when we go over to the lake scene, you'll see that some of the stuff is buoyant. That's bowling. I don't want to go to bowling again. I always hit bowling because I used to have the lake in that slot. So our bowling pins and rocks have all fallen to the ground, but our fish are buoyant. So they're still here. Woo! Our minecart and our fishing pole are somewhat buoyant. Oh man, I've got to get this thing to flip itself when it hits some ground. Oh man. Oh, I just see a happy Sunday. Sorry, I missed that earlier. But yeah, that looks good. Now let's see if we start fishing there. How do we reel this line? I don't know why that snaps so hard. Is it the springiness? Do we have to change the springiness from 12? This thing is just not moving, is it? It's odd. It's not how that should be behaving. I think because of the gravity amp on this thing, right? See what that looks like. Oh my god. Yeah, this rope is a big pain in the ass. We're gonna stop game and turn it into a streamer bait game if you rename it Fishing Hole Simulator. I mean, that's just fishing. That's just a fishing game. And there's really no simulation happening because the simulation implies like you have like various things to manage, like shops and like. Yeah, I'm not doing all that. This is literally just like a little casual game. I'm just. Yeah, y'all can make that. I can't even make what I'm working on, right? Can't even finish anything. Yeah, there's a lot of bugs with this physics. I don't like how it snaps. I think it's pretty cool that there's a two-way rope here, but I'm wondering if we should just make it like a visual rope or a single. How are you doing? I am struggling, but we're gonna get there. We're trying to figure out how to reel the line in. And we have a really long fishing rod line. What the fuck is going on here? Ball seems to have reduced gravity. Yeah, I'm not. I think it's because of this cable. the cable. Do that. And I think what we need to do is reset this to go like pretty far back because we just want the raw with the raw script without any adjustments. But there's so many like little things to tweak. I think I get caught up too much in like tweaking things rather than actually building out functions. No, that's strange. Okay. So the ball is coming with us. I can cast the ball way out in the distance. And the cool part is that the ball will pull the fishing rod over, which is fun. And the ball will roll around and do stuff, which is also fun. But all we have to do is get this ball to roll towards us. I feel that I have to remind myself I always go back and polish the animation and stuff later. Yeah. I just wish I could finish something rather than starting something new because I'm starting to do bowling. I have so much to do and I just don't, I'm very unfocused. What is the rock? That rock didn't budge. That one doesn't. I don't think that's a real rock. Is that a real rock? Oh, there it goes. Oh no, it's sleeping. Okay, reeling. How does it reel? Exactly. The double-edged sword would be your own manager. It can work on anything I want. What I want to work on keeps saying, yeah, I mean, tell me about it. In some ways, I really got to work on YouTube videos, but right now I'm having fun working on my game. I started making YouTube videos because I was having zero fun on my game. Now it's kind of the opposite. Is like, I guess I just can't really force myself to do something I don't want to do. It's kind of been constant. Okay. Okay. Mhm. All right. So now it should reel for us, forward towards us at least a little bit. Once let's cast it close to us. Ooh, okay. Now reel, 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 reel. It's not coming towards us, is it? Oh, it is. It's really slow though. Um, I guess one. Where is it going? It's not reeling towards us. It's reeling around us. Direction two. Bobber.global position dir bobber apply central force bobber.mass. It needs to be like more like the pickup body one, right? Where this self-linear, this carry position. So we say this piece. So reeling is going to be a little bit more stronger, right? If you force yourself, the end result won't be good. Yeah. I just think that I am spending, I mean, I have limited amount of time to do things and I really should do this. So I should do that, but maybe I shouldn't worry. Okay. Perfect. And then we can get delta in there, right? Can we give it delta? We can give it delta. Why not? We should always give it to delta. Is it still not declared? Oh, args1. Yeah, I mean, I do this as a hobby and for fun, so I shouldn't be hard on myself, but I really am. I've been wasting a lot of time with these stupid mechanics. There it goes. I reeled straight up into us. Okay, it's decided to go elsewhere. And now is no longer letting me. Oh, I dropped it. Okay, no, we need to say um it dropped it. uh, okay, don't. In that case, what happened was the bobber reached the distance that we want to, like, say 1, do that. And it decided to become ungovernable. So we'll throw that in there, and then we'll reel it. So it should be reeling. If bobber is less than, there we go. Okay, perfect reel. Now we just need to greatly reduce the force here. Why is this 30 times delta? That shouldn't. Lerp velocity 30 times delta? That feels strange. Lerp takes a weight as a variant. However, just 0.5, right? Wonder how I got that mixed up. There it goes. It's kind of funny because the rope doesn't. The rope kind of catches up to it, so it's not really a real reeling. Is there a reason you're lerping and not tweening? Because it's in the physics process? I don't think I can tween in a physics process, right? You tell me. Tween is lerp outside of process or physics process. Yeah, I don't think I would use a tween. Okay, so if it becomes here, we bobber.hide, rope.hide. Don't have a rope set yet. We will add class name to this rope because that's just helpful. With the whole thing. Anytime you lerp over a certain time, you're gonna replace it with tween. Yeah, I'm lerping basically on the mouse click as I'm holding mouse click, so it's a variable amount of time. Yeah, I guess it's hard to tell from my interactive pieces, but we're reeling, and I don't know that we need delta. We probably do somewhere, but show. And then we rope.hide, and we do this, and then Now, and if throwable, we will become throwable. Wait, I saved this, save that, run it again. This is my first time here. This is cool. Yeah, so what we're doing is we're building a little fishing game, and it is a multiplayer fishing game. So that's what's special about it, is that we have a server running over here, and this server can actually admin menu go over to the fishing map. And so we have like a little place where we're testing, but we also have bowling going on. So don't worry about that right now. And we have a long list of activities that we're doing. And when I go to the fishing map, we have that glowing fishing spot. So I'll go grab my rod. I'm swimming over there. So my rod should come with me. Come here, rod. All right, I've got the rod. So now I'm ready to fish. So let us toss it in there. That looks good. Now I'm gonna have to put a fish on the line. Another chatter pointed me in the direction looking for network advice. Yeah, I mean, you've come to the right place if you need networked multiplayer. That's me. And so that's way too strong. But if we slow it down, it's possible that the fishing rod will behave. So when we do this, linear velocity, we can clamp it, or what do we do to slow it down significantly? I mean, you just I don't know. Do we need like does delta here help? I don't really know. I'm not good at physics. Yeah, I found a series a while back. Yeah, so yeah, you just ask away if you have questions. And we'll talk about multiplayer. We'll take a break from. Oh, oh, get closer. Uh, it's looking good. The funny part is that the line is not strong enough to keep up with the ball, which is pretty funny. I was trying to build an NPC state machine for multiplayer. Got stuck until I reviewed completed projects. Yeah, so I can talk a little bit about how NPC like a state machine work in my projects too, because you just have to sync the state. Sounds easy, but it is pretty easy. Oh, that looks good. Okay. You can't really tell that it's kind of fucked there. We could increase the speed if we get closer. There it goes. It's disappeared. All right. And okay. So don't charge. Um, and then basically, if using the sync state, sync the state using RPCs, multiplayer, yeah, synchronizer, yeah. So if you have a state machine, um, you and I do have a state machine on this character. You have a couple ways of doing it. Here he is. He's hanging out. He has a state machine, a code-based state machine, idle, walk, state, jump. I actually, on this state machine, for walk, run, jump, in air, ragdoll, all these states, I turn it off. I turn it off on anyone who's not the authority. So when we load into the player, you basically freeze or destroy any processing happening on this add to group players. This is stuff that happens for everything. But if I am not multiplayer authority, I am a puppet on another machine. Since I own my player body, I am player 1. Anyone else who's not me, and this is my body, I will turn myself off on your machines. So you can see set process false. So nothing happening. And then in the multiplayer synchronizer, we do this, that, and that. And now other players have no idea what's going on because other players now have no idea what state I'm in. Idle, walk, run, jump, in air, and ragdoll. They have no idea because I'm the only one processing on my machine. I'm the host of my player. So we'll get some players in here and kind of do a little bit of demonstration. So how do you tell them? How do you tell other players where you are in your state machine? And the answer is you really don't. You just inform them of what they need to know from a visual standpoint. So these two players are going to find each other. And I'm walking around. He sees me walking, right? How does he know that I am supposed to play run, walk, jump? He knows I'm jumping because my position changes, and we do sync player rotation and position. That's critical. But the only way he knows what state I'm in is because we have an animation tree. The animation tree will transition to say, here's the these modifiers off. The animation tree will transition with an RPC, and you sync only visuals, essentially is the rule. So that means we will sync walk, run, fall, jump. We will actually call an RPC anytime we transition to one of these. And we tell them only what they need to know. They don't need to know where I am in the state machine up on the top part, but it's a one-liner. Here it is. State machine comes in with a state on enter, some state like walk, and say, if I am, broadcast the animation of the state tree to the owner to all peers. If I own this, if I'm the multiplayer synchronizer, I will sync set state with the RPC state name, authority, call remote. It's that simple. I did try Node Tunnel. It works great. I want to make a video about it, but I'm in the middle of a bunch of stuff. So I do want to make some videos. I need to make some videos. So now what will happen is that it's literally just going to go call the function right above it on other machines, and it'll stop there, if that makes sense. The other way you could do this is you could add a multiplayer synchronizer. This might be even simpler for some projects. And you choose your animation player and you say current animation. I've done this way too. And you just have that on there, on change or always. And you're done. As long as you, and then you can even delete these. I have a couple special states here. So I do it with RPC, but this is equally effective, I believe. It's just to do that. And you can even do that on the level above by opening up Visual Root, and you say editable children here. And once you have editable children, you can open this up. Did you see that animation player there? You can then add it to your multiplayer synchronizer. You grab that, and you can do it up that level too. So this also lets me swap out my character body for a completely different character body. He's, you know, but it can get a little tricky, but that's just how it is. You sync only visuals. And we have this rule for all of our interactables, like for our pickups. We say on fish is a pickup. He's on these layers. I set these in code because I always forget where to put them on these layers on the side. I never fucking remember, so I just set them in code and document them so I can search for them. And that's all on ready. And then this is the key part. If not multiplayer authority, do no processing and then freeze it. Freeze it. This will reduce the amount of jitter. And finally, if you do see jitter, keep in mind that there is a special case in Godot where if you have a camera node on a 3D node here in your player scene, you should not do this because this causes jitter. Because the character's moving and then the machine is also, the camera's moving inside of the player node. So you have two ways to fix this. One, transform, top level it. That'll make it detached from the movement of the physics of this player. So he can move like this and he won't cause your nested camera to screw up. So this character has no camera on them. Instead, I use an asset called Phantom Cam. And this is a global root level camera, and it has a nice 3D follow mode that I use. And you can even, and it smooths out. And that is located at the top level of my game. So game scene. So I go here. This is an empty scene, and it has this phantom cam that then just attaches to the proper player and follows them around. And that is just these phantom cam, aim, and then a little underwater shader in case you are taking a swim. Because I learned all this, because if I search for jitter, you can learn why this is true. Most of your observable jitter comes from camera. I didn't know this for a long time, but there's an entire docs page on it because of Physics Interpreter. Here you go. So we'll share the actual source for this as well. And they'll tell you to top level your camera or global. I just realized I could use Epic Online Service and it has voice chat and lobbies. You should. Yeah, you absolutely should. The voice chat is something people are asking a lot about, so I might have to make a video about that. The other thing you should not do is do demos inside your main project. So let's see if everything still works. Okay, let's demonstrate some more cool features. We have the concept of picking things up, like a fish, and dropping it. Then I can pick it up. And now, if I try to pick his fish up, it says it's his fish, 947. That's his peer ID. I can't pick it up. Also, we have the throw component on the fish, so we can attach a throw thing, and we have customization. I can give you la. There you are. What color are you? You're purple today. And so now, when I pick up a fish, that is your fish. I can knock it out of your hands, but you're the one controlling it. And then I can toss a rock on you. You can pick up the rock. So we can go bowling, or we can go fishing. Oh, and here's the other part. This is the crazy thing. If I tell you to be a ragdoll, you now have a pickup component on you, and I can just pick you up, just like any other object. And I can toss your ass. And it's very composable, so I'll break out of that, and I will pick up a fish, and then I will become a ragdoll, and then I will pick you up, and now you're holding a fish, I'm holding you, and they're all kind of following each other and picked up. And you can drop your fish, pick up a rock. You can hit a fish, fish, rock, rock, fish. And then, oh, I should deposit you in the cart. So there you are. Oh, you fell out of the cart. Let's put you in the cart. So I can hang out in the cart, get these bowling pins out of the way, get this fish out of the way, and I can pull the cart. Now you're riding along in the cart. Yeah, the rope cable is I think it's a highly customized version of another library cable. I'm gonna see. Oh, we have an aim mode. Yeah, I think there's a problem here on the cart. We're not gonna mess with this much. Wow, are you using Tube for this project? Yes, this is all on Tube, WebRTC. That's right. I wonder if I do this, it falls through. So I think I need, yeah, I think I need that. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. What's this physics object down here? Oh, that's the cart area that picks up stuff. Okay. Let's go fishing. Okay, let's fix the fishing rod. Get rid of the fish. This. This is fine. Fishing rod script. Okay. Let's say lesson 1, and if is action just pressed. Primary. Okay. Now, this is tricky because now this input here is it's gated to, I believe, the multiplayer owner. So this code should never fire. So basically what's going to happen is it's going to keep reeling, which is fine for this test. It's just going to keep reeling. It's never going to stop reeling. Yeah, so it's reeling. So now we have to detect the multiplayer owner. We have two options here. We can give, oh, where'd it go? What to do? Oh. We can give the person who's picked it up the full multiplayer authority over the object, which could just cause a number of issues, but might be appealing. Or we could use the interact area, the throwable area, and Another cool thing is you can late join and it'll tell you what map we're on. So that's useful. Let's get a fishing rod. I'll be right back. So I don't know how to answer, but for the object to anticipate others to try to steal it. Yeah, so currently we do anticipate that slightly because we have the concept of a owner of this rod. So you can see that if I change my name to Andu, this is fishing rod Andu's. He can't grab it. He can try. He can try to knock it out of his hands. It's no longer his when I knock it. So now I could pick it up. I check if an object is in the held state when picking. If yes, then return. If no, pick up the object. Yeah. Yeah, essentially. I have all these objects under server authority, but I basically have the objects know who's picked them up. And this serves two purposes. It says, I am owned by peer ID Andu, and I should follow his hands, which just helps. for the rod to move itself towards that position. And we can make this offset a little bit, like negative 0.3. So now he's holding it a little tighter to his body. I heard you articulate a scenario before you're debating how to implement. I've seen you do it. I'd really like that question. It's good. Because basically we have a concept in this project of pickups, interactions, and interact area. So this interact area here has a throw component and a detection. So what I can do is I can just throw the collision shapes on. And this interact area handles looking at something and requesting an interaction. Yo, thoughts on Unity? I don't know, use it if you want, but Godot is a lot more fun and lightweight and a lot faster. So you're going to have more fun with Godot. But if you have a reason to use Unity, like there's a certain asset or project that you want to make, then that's fine too. But for me, this is the best. So this interaction area has a process, and it is going to give two different types of inputs, an interact and interact secondary. But the fishing controller needs, what happens when a peer disconnects when they have authority over the object? Great question. So it drops it. Because if we look at the pickup, fishing rod is a pickup. I think on exit tree, it drops it. So if it has a owner peer and owner player, it says I am now nobody's. But interact area is currently responsible for collecting inputs from the player. And this is tricky because, you know, all the interactions are off on other peers. So technically the pickups have no idea what the player is inputting. And the pickups decide if they want to accept that input anyway. And that's because this character has an interact area right there. That's that ball we see when we, this little debug ball. So it says, I see an object called rock 8, and I'm going to fire off an interaction with the interact. And that now the problem is that we have a potential scenario where we have a fishing rod and it's capable of doing some things like clicking and dropping. Like we still want to preserve the dropping and the picking up and the, get this out of here. And yes, I know there's some jitter there. We can fix that. We have options, video, VSync. Look how smooth that is now with VSync on. Look at that, no jitter. And let me tell you about why this is true. So if I disable VSync, we're going crazy. We're going fucked. This is the reason. Network updates are different than physics updates. The physics update is thinking that it's somewhere, and the network update is coming in a little slower. So I've got what? How many FPS? Like a 300 frames per second or something like that. And those physics frames are running way faster, process frames, and they're gonna fight over where it is until a network update comes in every 30 frames or whatever, or not frames, but hertz. It's different. Like, so if I'm at 120 hertz though, basically if I do VSync on, and sometimes VSync can have the opposite effect. It can cause jitter if you don't do things right, you know, so, but if I turn VSync on, they are now agreeing and they're matched up. And in the physics settings, we have like a couple of things you can do. You can adjust all these things. You can do like max ticks per second. You can drop this to 30 to match the network, but it's not always 30 on the network, right? Because it's a variable rate. And so jitter fix, yeah, let's try this. So it says controls how much physics ticks are real time. For 0 or less, the ticks are synchronized. Such high values are recommended for network games. So let us try that. 0 setting. So I'm going to stop. I'm going to turn VSync off. What's my social security number? 778-882-307. Yes, can you file my taxes for me? Thank you. VSync disabled, back, quit, debug, 2 instances, project settings. um 0, close. This could also help eliminate jitter. Thank Ray, I appreciate you. Thanks for doing my taxes for me. They're pretty complicated. Okay, that did not actually solve any physics jitter. The other thing you can do to solve physics jitter is to interpolate the mesh from one location to another. You can basically tell the mesh to look at a synced value. What the fuck is the default gravity changed here? I didn't change that. Maybe I did. Oh well. Well, I didn't know about these threshold angular. That's cool. Lots of interesting things to learn here. Let's try the VSync again. And it's also funny because when I'm not streaming, I actually have a lot less jitter. That's pretty nice. I don't know why that one now, or see, it's a little random. Jitter is so hard to fix. Oh, do I have VSync on? I don't think so. It's disabled. But that does seem to help a lot. I wonder why it didn't help before though. But that is smooth as butter. So none of this is related to how do we have complicated input. Like let's say we want to have a fishing game that's kind of like this, where we have like a timing game happening. What we could do is we could create a node that basically listens for fishing related input. It would almost be like an input node on the character responsible for attempting to fish. And here's how it would work. And what's good about this is that it's really close to, I take commission work. I have done commission work. I've actually got a couple projects in the pipe for some commissions. Freelance, yeah. So I've done some of that. Would it be the state of a player? Yeah, if they're in the radius of a fishing target. Yes, that's a nice. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to say this is called a fishing component, and we're going to make this a component. We're going to attach a script to it, and we'll put this in our components folder. And the purpose of this script is, and say, if not is multiplayer authority. Set process, false. Just get rid of it. Here we go. This is class name. Fishing, I spelled it with a. And what this will do is it will say, we're going to say character ref is player equals get parent. We could also turn this thing off completely. If we are holding a fishing rod, we could set the process true, right? But essentially we'll collect input here. And that input will be all of our fishing inputs. And it will keep like a kind of a separate map of possible fishing inputs. Enum fishing inputs. We're not sure exactly, but we need, mouse up, mouse down, drop, all sorts of things. And these will all act on character ref dot interact area dot current interactable. And so we say if we have one of these and it's of type fishing, and is fishing rod, because that is a thing that we made, we say is action pressed primary. We are going to tell the fishing rod to do something. We can just do reel, right? We can access our reeling item right there. And we can just take this off right there. You see? And let's say func collect bobber. And we can drop the part where we interact and we say if not throwable, we just get rid of this, move the is action just released to our interact area. So now if we're cast, so throwable is our cast. If we're cast, we will now be able to recast because we've collected our bobber. And the map is going to look like, we're going to say reel here. Would it be state on the player and they can only enter it? Yeah, so I think we've read most of these. Let's say reel. Oh, now we need to do the current interactable. We know it's a fishing rod. Bar rod equal. And here's the point where we could say rod.reel, right? Because we could cast this to fishing rod. And we're going to simplify this a little bit, but this is looking promising for a couple of different reasons, because now we have reel lf input is action just released primary. We'll try to collect it. And we want to basically refactor this to listen for character ref dot area interact area dot. We have a way of notifying that we have changed our interaction. Body entered, target interactable, current interactable. Signal is holding. Say signal is holding. There we go. Okay, that's what we're looking for. Signal is holding. return this. Connect. Should process. We can do an early return here. All right, so now we will check if it's a fishing rod and set it. We'll just do that at the top. There we go. And var should process. We'll do a little quick func. Do an inline lambda, and we'll say this will be true, or I mean, this will be is holding, and set process should. There we go. Now this is definitely a bool. Plus, all right. This now sets us up to do handle. Handle fishing input. We'll throw it the rod, and that will be our abstraction. That will be a little bit better. We will underscore delta here, and we have our rod that we know is fishing rod. There we go. Now we don't have to keep declaring rod over and over in this current interactable. We just have the rod. Rod.real. elif input is action released. Now we can just do whatever we want here. Primary. That's our click. Rod.collect. And we have delta. We can give it delta. I don't know that we are even, we are using delta. So let's give it delta. That's much better here because this is part of process. That's perfect. Delta becomes this, delta, delta. And we'll give it delta as a float. And we will use it right there. So now we can add as many items as we want in line here, and we're good. Something I ran into while doing netcode was wanting signals to be RCPable. Tell me more, because I say I agree. Say a signal gets emitted, everyone, do you think this is a good addition? What alternatives do I have? Dig Dug, let me talk to you about that, because I've done it and I like it. I like doing it. It can be a little unclear what the best strategy is. And if you find a solution that works, please come back and let me know. But the solution that I have found that works for me is a inline function. So this is what we do. We have a signal like player changed of some sort. What the hell is this? Apparently this needs a string here, right? That's funny that that works. But we handle a signal, and when you connect to it, you can call an RPC inline. So if you have a signal like on, let's say level, let's see, I'm trying to think of a good example. I am still, it's a tough abstraction. But essentially I like to use an RPC in a, let's say global dot signal set immobile connect. I do this, I do func right in line, and then I take the argument, in this case it's a bool, I know is immobile, and then I will call set is immobile dot RPC is immobile. So I do it like that. And then this becomes our RPC here. call local is usually the best bet when you have a local player. But yeah, so that basically achieves a listener. And the inverse of that is that then you need to emit it globally. And I think this is convenient sometimes, but yeah, you can use a Lambda. So I use these Lambdas a lot, kind of shortcuts it, but this makes sure that you can also call it with RPC ID if you need to, and you have to throw the peer in there. And so for this case where I would emit this, I would emit with like a caller ID. So you can do multiplayer get caller ID in an RPC. So what is it? Get sender, remote sender. Hi, Andrew. How are you? So in these, you could say multiplayer dot remote sender ID, get remote sender ID. And so that way you can call to a specific person. Can I make lambdas RPC in one line? But yeah, I think there's some obstacles to making them one line, and there's like a little bit of friction there, so it's not ever perfect. Doing well. Happy Sunday. Happy. Yes, we are in a great mood. We're having a blast today. We are currently closing in on some nice functionality for our fishing game, where we are just about to test a handle fishing input function that I have now not get to the boop. I'm doing the calculations here. Interact area signal is holding. This is the right one. How is my fishing component doing? Yeah, thank you for the advice. Yeah, please come back and tell me what you find out in terms of how to best use RPCs and signals in conjunction, because I think it can be a little confusing. I almost want to like think about it in terms of a library or something, an orchestrator, but it could get a little nutty. There's one thing RPCs need to do is they need to be on the node that you are calling, unless you actually pass the entire path, which would be crazy. Yeah, we're having a blast today. We're making fishing work, and we're closing in on it. We've got this fishing target that's gonna be where you need to land the bobber. Once it's in there, we're gonna process some input. So we've been talking a lot about input processing. I'm trying to figure out why our fishing component has this player, and it's definitely there, and signal is holding is definitely there. Interact area, CR interact area. So we can, if CR, it's like almost need something other than the ready function here, right? I wonder why we don't have an interact area. We always have an interact. Oh, where is it? It's right here. It's right there. It's on ready. There might be an issue with how on readies are stacking, because this gets added, then this fires on ready. So I think Godot tree goes bottom up. CR.ready. Let's say connect to that. Here we are. What if we got really fucking crazy? Let me put this inside that. With another lambda. It's called functional it's called functional programming, guys. I don't know if you get behind that, but any errors? think we're okay. That's wild. Also, we're going bowling. Um, that's cool. Okay. We tried to collect. That's fine. I think we called this function a little different. Collect bobber. Maybe we shorten it to just collect. That's cool. Get out of here. Throw that rod out there. Where'd it go? We're not revealing. Oh. Sheesh. We launched this bobber, and then I think we're immediately collecting it because we release. So that's bad. Basically, we need to delay. There we go. So there's the fishing rod. We're collecting it. It's coming straight at us, which is not exactly what we want. We want kind of to come to our player instead. Yeah. There. Now it's coming to our player. Doesn't work exactly like a fishing rod because the rope is not taut enough in this mode. It's like the rope is like it's good when we're out here because the length of the rope is so long. I'll do a little timer. Let's do a new timer. Cast timer. We need a lot of timers actually. So it's probably better to just put them. Oh, we have some timers here. We already have some timers. We have Twitch timer, rod cooldown. I like that. Rod cooldown sounds nice. Yeah, easy. We'll just do this. Oh, they're not in the scene tree yet. Boop, boop. Grab all these. I was just thinking how I was going to do this, and I've already done it for myself. The Twitch timer is going to, like, be the fish. Start timer, one shot. What is start timer? I don't know. Oh, that's when the. Here's the cooldown. Start the rod cooldown. And we can only reel. We can only collect. Is stopped. There we go. We should start this right away. Oh boy, what else? Now we should be able to reel our rod all the way in. Cast the ball. Okay, I'm gonna start reeling it in, reeling it in, reeling it in, and release. Perfect. And cast again. All right, we're making progress. Reeling it in, reeling it in, reeling it in. Huh? Got way too bad. How close does it need to be? Auber global position to player. Global position, is that right? Let's try it like this. A lot of magic numbers in this project. Damn. Really, really, really that far, huh? What is the distance? Let's see. Console.log. No, I'm doing JavaScript. Don't allow that. It's 5 or 4, huh? Because the rod is 5 inches tall or 5 feet tall. Should it be the player? I don't know what I'm doing. Well, I can at least fish. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? I think cable length is actually used in the calculations here. Cable length, it is because segment stretch is used in physics process. So cable length is so if we go rope dot cable length minus greater than say 10. I should keep making my cable even shorter. No. Yeah, it is. Okay, the rope fucking broke. I broke the rope. That's pretty funny. Um, I'm scared to mess with the springiness. I wonder if I can just. I don't know. I think I should log these values because they're kind of critical, aren't they? Or that's. I don't think I should mess with. Let's see what the length is doing. Oh no. Oh, this part is wrong. Whee! What about less than 2? Very interesting. I'm probably breaking everything, but that's kind of what I do on this channel is I just fuck with stuff until it breaks. And that's kind of what I do in my career, right? Seems to be a minimum of something in the cable length. That springiness is helping a ton. I'm gonna make it even higher. Change the gravity out. Why not gravity it too? 0.1, 0.2 means it's more than gravity, but it needs to be actually like pretty intense. There, now it just looks like it has a little bit of drag to it, and that's kind of perfect, right? Boop. And the question is that even, yeah, that is moving the linear velocity just a little bit. And then oh man, I love early return. Just I don't know why it feels so good to early return. It just keeps things so flat, like straight down the line, maybe. Just my opinion, man. That's so good. I think we finally got this. What are we? We're printing this. Let's not print that anymore. Should don't launch the ball bar on the cooldown. What about um? Let's do whenever reset rotation happens, we can do a quick rod cooldown. Just you know, so you can't like cast while you're picking things up. Makes sense to me, right? We don't have to go. What I don't understand is that real should not be happening on any other machine. Right? Because we're calling this on all machines, I think. If is let's just do a print of the multiplayer authority. Get unique ID. Basically, this will tell us if we see ones in here, we know that. No, it's just us. Wait, did we see a one? Yeah, we saw a one, but it's something else, right? Oh, that looks really good. Now we just have to slow it down. I think we do this, and what will happen is we can't reel anymore because the fishing component will force us not to reel if we... Oh, we're still reeling. That's not good. How was that? So we're listening for an input. If is... If. Oh, no. Okay, I think I have another call to reel here. Yeah, here it is. Stupid. I've got two locations calling reel. That was a goofer. That was a big goof. But we're on the right non-goof track now. All right. There we go. So now I should not be able to reel. Ain't nothing happening. I cannot reel whatsoever. So that's good. I'm pulling it in. I'm pulling it in. It's going to 0. Okay, perfect. This right here launch bobber happens, but only on my machine. Ooh, baby, we got a little pickle here because we're basically we're giving this thing commands. From a non-authority. Why? What do we need to do to think about here in order to think about the non-authority is the player who's reeling. I'm reeling. Nothing's happening. He can't reel. He'll never reel. Because the cooldown... What do we do? It's a pickle. So we get ourselves into here as a pickle. So I have to RPC this. Nothing happened. Because I just turned my rod that I own into nothingness. That's what the problem is. So I have to call real.rpc.delta, and that'll call it a whole lot. And so I can turn my my length into dust. I can destroy this thing on my machine. But if the authority doesn't know about it, it's the only one running physics. Okay, we solved it. We solved it. I'll be right back. I gotta solve it and get a water. Let's see what happens when we do that. Okay, launch bobber happens. Start to cool down. Okay. Okay. Now we need to call this as RPC. We'll call it just to the server. So we know that we are the rod. The owner of the rod is the server. That'll cut down on network traffic because not everyone needs to hear that we are collecting RPC ID. That not everyone needs to hear our noise about reeling a fishing rod. Only the server needs to know so that it can actually apply the reeling. So we'll see how that works. Okay. Reel. None of that even worked. I think I'm not calling this right. Collect rod, collect RPC ID. Collect the rod. Throwable's true. Bobber hide. This function hasn't changed, and it's this right here. This condition. This is the same condition, and it's 3 or 4 or less, right? It's 1. It's 2. It should be collected. Less than 4. I bet it's not throwable, maybe. I don't know. It's throwable. No, it's definitely not throwable, friends. It's definitely not throwable. Because if it were, this is what we have to do. Because we're basically using that as a key to test if we can recast our fishing rod. Once we get reeling and rolling, it should be pretty easy to do the rest. A launch bobble happens. Why am I getting all throwable? We broke one thing while fixing the other. Not a good time. Oh, because it's so far. We don't want to. We want like normalized. We want to normalize this because it speeds up way too fast and slows down. That's hard. We just want like a constant speed. What happens if I just set this rope strength to like 2? What I would expect is that the rope, it's just very close, yeah. It doesn't go anywhere. It's not like live updating. That's funny. Is it because my physics are running? Let's think. It's like the rope has to be. Let's see. Bum ba-dum, bum ba-dum, bum 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 bum, bum 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 bum. Looking for a fish. Yeah, this doesn't work. think it was really the gravity amp that kind of made it work. Yeah, that's much better. And then all we have to do is collect. But it doesn't collect. It only collects on my machine. Any pair, call local. Oh, because we're calling it. Yeah, what to do. Okay. So now, when we collect, that happens. And we should get throwable again. There we go. Throw this thing. Bring it in, bring it in, bring it in, and boop. And throw it out. Bring it in, bring it in, bring it in. And doop. This is actually really fun now. I can't believe this is working so well. Whee! I need to make the springiness less because the reason why we could toss it much further is so we had the springiness down to like 12. And we're going to test that again. Okay, friends? Okay, friends. And we're not going to mess with the values on the fishing pole ever again. Okay, that's what we do here is we never tune things longer than we need to. We tune them exactly. Okay, it's way too springy still. It almost needs like a lot of friction or something. Cool, cool. Okay, let's head over to the fishing area. It just stops perfectly on a dime. Pull it in, and once we get this a little bit more, then we'll do a longer cast. And now let's be a fish. I'm a fish. I have stolen the rod. Oh my god. It's so incredible. It's the best thing I've ever done. What is your spirit animal, but is it a fish? I'm a fish. I am a fish. Whee! I'm under the water. I'm seeking. I'm seeking. I'm seeking. Don't ask questions about the fishing rod. I think I'm a seahorse. I think like the best answer is actually octopus. Because those things are incredibly smart. So you wouldn't lose too much. You wouldn't give too much up being an octopus, you know? The other good one is a dolphin, because they just got it right, you see, or a whale, because they used to be land walking mammals. And so they were fish, they got on land, and they said, you know what, this fucking sucks. I'm going back to the water. And they got in the water, and that's where they stayed, and they have a lovely life until humans came around. So that's my impression. Like just a blue whale or a dolphin, like you just have like a wonderful, long, peaceful. There's nothing like it. I wonder what the network is looking right. Let's look at this network tab, friends. We're up 500 kilobytes, friends. 500. That is terrible. Don't look at that. Yeah, we're down 300. We're not up much more if we do. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't do anything in terms of the RPCs are so much cheaper than simulating all these. I had no idea the RPCs would be so cheap. Oh, nope, they went up to 500 there, and then It's pretty lovely. Now we just need to add a normalization here on this velocity instead of a speed. And we'll just get AI to do that. I've been outsourcing a number of physics issues to this, and it's worked out pretty good. Add a, it's such a simple thing. I just don't want to, you know, mess it up. Add a normalization to flatten the speed here. Because I know what needs to be done. But like quaternary inversions, let's see what it says. This is normalized at the end of it. Okay, well. I knew that. But I wasn't sure where to put it. So now when I reel. All right, let's slow it down though. Let's slow to a crawl. Oh, the normalized got multiplied. Let's do that. Okay. What? It's just not moving. Oh no, it's all the velocities. Okay. I think maybe I have so without it, what does it look like? It looks like this, and then it's like not moving at all. Should we like apply impulse? Get rid of it. Maybe get rid of delta? What am I even doing now? Delta's really fucking with us. But I think I do I need delta here? I don't know. What's the problem with my understanding of Godot and just life is I don't think we use delta in the physics. Oh, we do. What is this? Why do we have 30 times delta on the pickup? What is all this? I think this was an attempt. Critical. Why do we do this by delta here? 0.5. Wait. I think it was a jitter fix. So let's use the same thing, but the normalized value instead. Okay, great. Then we'll just multiply this by 2 instead of 10. Multiply by 4 instead of 10. Needs to be faster. uh, whee! Whee! Oh, Claude. It doesn't look like it's right. I usually find better success articulating the actual issue I'm having to and believe the cause, like more detailed symptoms. But yeah, so you're talking about the AI prompting that I'm doing. Yeah, the the part here was that this is extremely simple, so I don't need to write a like a detailed prompt. I'm just kind of like, I know what I basically know what I want. Just add gravity. It's not something that needs to think about too hard, even though it should probably think about it. I think I'm having an issue with the buoyancy now because we are in the zone where when we're reeling, we're having an issue because the gravity is now adding there. So we basically fucked it all up. Okay, let's do this. Um, this is exactly not what we need. Or we have to do this and integrate forces, which I'm really not super happy. Yeah, I've been passing what I've learned. Yeah, I actually have been doing extraordinarily detailed prompts for my like actual day job work. And the reason why I'm doing that is because it's a lot more complicated than this and it matters a little more. And I do something where it uses I've had way more success with the AI giving it parameters to validate its thing because it's basically running a prompt in a loop. And if you give it a way to basically validate, and in this case, since I do web dev, I've been giving it the Chrome MCP and saying, here is the site running on this tab. Use the Chrome MCP to observe the behavior before and validate the behavior after. And it works pretty good when it can do that. Yeah, I think this needs to be an integrate forces, unfortunately. The bobber. We could also do a apply apply force instead. So let's have it do that. Okay. Let's change the approach to use apply central force instead of setting linear velocity. So now it should bob. It's like buoyant. It's working pretty good. We can slow it down a little. And I think we have. We can bring the springiness up a little. Maybe that. I haven't gotten much into that. It's validation is huge. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've had really poor results. I'll tell you that. I have been extremely unhappy with it in most cases. And I'm like a pretty big skeptic, but starting I have to definitely have to come around now. And like in game dev, I'm kind of using it a little more casually here. I'm buying like is delta required? I've seen people do this strategy where they just kind of talk to it. So no, delta's not here. I look at the real function. Da da da. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Kind of makes sense. I didn't think it was required, but because for one, we're running at like 200 frames per second. And part that's bothering me is that the bobber is like, mm, we could try. I don't think the cable length thing was doing anything because it's like, why is it going so fast? Yeah, I mean, I haven't played with the MCP in terms of capability. Yes, you have. Yeah, so the validation part comes from the MCP that I've done. Um, so actually, I have one running over here, and I don't feel like doing real work, but that's what I have to do. It's kind of important to actually do the job. It's terrible. Okay. So, okay. The problem I have with the code it's writing right now is that it's insanely verbose, and I can't actually. It's very bad at abstractions. I have no idea what it did here. This is an insane function. What do we do? Okay. What was our next choice here? Hmm, Just pretty happy with where we're at right now. As usual, my typical habit of just fucking around with stuff is kind of showing its face yet again. That is true. I can cast and I can reel. Reeling is big if I can reel. It is bothering me that I think it should speed up. It should be like on a curve, but I hate how that, you know, it's not taut. The line isn't taut. But I don't think there's a way I can improve that. When you reel, make a toggle that renders the line taut. Interesting. Interesting. I just amped up the gravity scale by 5, so now it's like better but not perfect. I could turn the gravity scale. I could like triple the gravel. So now it's pulling through the water pretty nicely. But then when it gets really close, you can kind of see it for a second. But I think I'm actually not. I think I'm pretty happy with that. Just amping up the gravity. Put it AG in plan mode and ask it. No, I will not. I want to use the Google Anti-Gravity to just code up a like a fishing mini game like this. Like have the inputs in a little a timing game. So like so how would I render the line taut? Just like just like a straight ass mesh, like straight? Because then it wouldn't like be a rope when I'm jumping and stuff. It wouldn't rope. But maybe that's fine. Yeah, maybe what I'll do is like when it gets really close, what I need to do. That looks so good though. What I need to do is I need to tell the line to be like omega springy at this stage right here. Like what about 50? I don't think that makes any sense though. Yeah, it actually does. But these editing these variables is kind of dangerous. It's pulling on it pretty good there. That's pretty sweet. Oh my god, it's really springy. Okay, it's very tight right now because I raised it all to 100. See how tight it is? I could make it like the springiness 100 when. But I think what the side effect of that is that if I pick this up, let's see, there might be some side effects. Oh, that seems fine. I think we're not 100% sure. It doesn't look as good when you cast. I think I liked it at like 30. What if we had the gravity amp at like 10 when we're reeling? The gravity amp could do it. I mean, it does look really good with like crazy gravity. I think maybe it's too far up even, and it's not having any effect. That's acceptable. Yeah, I think the gravity amp is no longer actually applying past like 5. Yeah, that makes sense though. I had it at 5. I think it's fine. I also have this cable length property, but anyway, I need to stop fucking around with these variables because there's so many variables to play with, and it's kind of something I'm guilty of. But look, it comes in. If no one's paying attention, it looks fine. Maybe the problem is that it needs to go to the top of the pole, right? Like that would help it a lot, right? Um, this is the real function, right? But we want Um, the offset factor, that makes sense. Carry location, bobber, carry location, that here and there. This is the carry location, normalized. I think the reason I had it go, where did it, how did I get it to go towards, applies, oh, it's apply central force now, not velocity. So that's part of the reason why it's not going straight up in the air. Okay. When the line be straight from where it's intersecting, you have to drag the property in the water, reduces movement speed. Yeah, you can, there, there's no drag on the rope, right? Like, we have a gravity amp, we have cable thickness. I think, like, when I cast, it looks great because it goes up in the air. And it's kind of got drag in the air because of the way the gravity and stuff works. The only thing I need to tune is basically right when we get to like here, it needs to go up to the top of the rod rather than to me. Oh, there it goes. It's trying. I was trying to go into the. It's going crazy. It's just fakey. That's the problem. Just fakey. I think I shouldn't sweat it. Like, it's not like this is a simulation. It's supposed to be a casual fishing game. There's so much going on in this fucking demo too. I mean, I've got other things to worry about. So if the bobber looks fakey and, you know, it doesn't even look like a fishing rod, what does it fucking matter? Now we need to put a fish on the line. Here's the way we do that. We take the fishing target and we say func ready area. Just give it a cylinder. Usually make it a little easier. You know, it's like, there you go. If you're anywhere within there, you can get bites, okay? Nibble timer. So what we could do is our nibble timer could be an auto start. And what if we just wait a random amount of time, right? The nibble timer, call nibble. So when we call nibble, we are first going to tell the nibble timer to start over. Well, that could be the last thing, but we should wait time equals a Randy I, a random integer, or Randy F. That makes it even crazier. Let's say every 3 seconds to 5 seconds, whatever. For get overlapping bodies, we'll get the overlapping bodies. Let's do that. For bobber in bobber dot there's like so many variables here because I could just have them all nibble, or I could only pick one of them nibble and the rest have to wait. So on connect, it's going to call a nibble, and we're going to just, maybe we'll just let the bobber. If bobber dot get parent is fishing rod, we'll nibble. And then we'll just have them decide, you know, this could be, there's so many opportunities for just random like jitter, which is a good word, a good jitter. Um, we just roll a dice. It's like we could do even or odd. I'd be jittering after my fourth cup. I had easily 4 cups today. Do a Randy range if we'll hook the fish. Add fish. Okay. There we go. Now there's a 50-50 chance of spawning a fish. And we almost need like a state machine here to track all the states that the rod can be in, right? It's like we have to have like a variable hooked. And we also have to tell the fish to chase the bobber. There is a fish script here somewhere. I could have sworn that this fish had a. Okay. He had a floppy variable. That's pretty funny. But we changed that. Okay. That's all good. So bobber, bobber, bobber. How do we want this fish to chase the thing? I think we just want to hook it and tell it to be um just floppy, just on the edge of the thing, and we don't want to actually control the fish. We do need exactly that. Floppy. New value is a bool. He's going to be floppy. That's true. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, so now we have a floppy fish on the line. How do we tell the fishing rod what fish he's got? I don't think we can turn to custom spawn with data. Da da da. Spawn all scenes are spawn. Spawn only need to go. Returns the locally spawned node. This is going to be kind of nutty if this works. So now we have all these things now return what they spawn, which is going to be extremely important because var fish fish. We'll say new fish. Okay. Right. Well, or we could just make a variable called current fish. That's a good way to do it. It's a no. It's a fish. No, it's a fish. Okay, now we can do stuff with that fish. Like when we release the fish, we can release. Or we could have it chase target. We shall do null. And of course, if current fish. We only really want this happening on multiplayer authority, obviously. Same here. Wait, what is my authority? It's always 1. But we need to do a little protection there. New fish, bobber. Chase target, bobber. Okay, so the fish now will have a chase target. That's what it chases. This is getting complicated. We also need the fish to have some sort of like smart behavior, which is no fun. None of this matters. It shall now chase. Just a little bit. Okay. We coded up a lot of stuff. So let's. The problem with all of this is that we still don't have a mini game, but we will be able to complete the loop of having a fish nibble and do the thing. Um, you can also let it go with chase target equal null. Always get carried if chase target. Else, swim in a random direction. What else would you do if you were a fish? Only well if you have a chase target or you're getting carried will you do much of anything. I don't know if this is all going to work. But we need to head over to I can apply an impulse down. I don't know if I had set that to auto start. It's on auto start. Nib. Nib's happening. How about this? How about a bobber? Fish. What? Why is my parent a fish? Oh, there's a fish here. The fuck? Huh? Oh my god, we're getting lots of fish in there, but we're not getting any bobbers. Because the bobbers are not on the right interaction layer. Set mask value 1 false. Set layer value 1 false. Set mask value 5. Say a global layer interact. All true. So we need to be on the interact layer because we just saw that we are trying to nibble fish. That doesn't solve our problem because fish are also on the same layer, but that's okay. So what happened here? Yeah, so we're only looking on one, and I think, what is the bobber on? It's on one, right? It's not. It's only on 7 and 5. It would be on 5. I think this will solve the problem of hurting a nibble. I'm still like in this mode where I'm making a physics-based fishing game, but that's not really what fishing games are. So we still need like some sort of fun mechanic that's like timing based or chilling. Because like, yeah, okay, we got the physics based thing where here it comes. Okay, it's fun to try to get it into the circle. That's great. But now that it's there, oh, it's not there yet. Herd nibble. Okay. When are we gonna get an actual fish though? We got a fish. Here he is. He's kind of frozen. That worked. We got a fish. Let's throw him back. Let's get another fish. So I think his problem there was that one, he was frozen, and two, we could potentially have gotten multiple fishes on our line if we okay. So the fish wanted to chase that way, but it really wasn't chasing that well, was it? It was like bing. Doing some sound effects and stuff. I cannot roll a. Is that really true? There's no fish. Impulse. So we say bobber dot apply central impulse. Vector 3. 1. And there's no fish on the line there. Then we'll go Randy Randy F. Okay, cool. All right, so current fish, chase target, current fish. Oh, we got to say current fish equal null. We let it off the hook, but we didn't actually let the current fish go. Okay, I'll be right back. All right, we're gonna test one more time. Then we're gonna take a longer break. I think we're gonna wrap it up. So this should theoretically allow us to catch multiple fish. And that would be put us in a good spot. We got a nibbler. It's a 50-50 chance. It's on the line. It's on the line. It's chasing my fish. Okay. He's losing it. Caught that fish. Perfect. We just changed the chase behavior a little bit and we're good to go. Okay. Next. Okay. That was a really bad cast. Bring that back in here. Okay. It's a little gentle. Toss it in there. Perfect. Bring it a little closer. There we go. Nibble. A fish on there. Yes, yes, yes. We have a high chance of catching fish. Okay, give me the fish. Toss him back in there. We're catching fish, friends. We're catching fish. Oh, nice shot. I should start a little timer that says you can only hook it when it's bobbing. Like give it a 1 second and now it's on there. Yeah, there he goes. Now all we've got to do is offset the chase location slightly. And then occasionally make them run away, right? Okay, here's a fucking crazy idea. Every item in my game has a pickup component. A fish is a pickup component. A bowling pin has a pickup component. A player has a pickup component. why not have the fish pick up the bobber? So this bobber is a pickup component. The fish can physically pick up the bobber and run with it. It's quite silly if you think about it. It's very silly. But why not? Right? You can definitely do that to a player where maybe only the players can. I don't think a bobber should interact like that, so we should do player collisions off on the bobber. Mm. All right, we can cast our line, we can reel it in, we can catch fish. It's funny, it's pretty clear it's like an RC car when you do this. But if it's in the water, it makes sense. Fuck. More things to fix. All right, we've been online for quite a bit. We will be on more this week. I will try to switch over to making YouTube videos when I get bored of fucking around with physics. But so far, having fun. So, see y'all around. Bye bye.